Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, May 2nd, 10 p.m. Mountain Time, 2023. We're headed to El Nino pattern, and we'll get to that in just a moment. The big story, historic late season snowstorm in the UP dumps 20 inches on Marquette. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Keep calm. It's boom time. A historic late-season snowstorm in Michigan's Upper Peninsula is expected to end today after already dumping more than a foot of snow in some areas, actually 2 feet as of this morning. We'll get to the snowfall totals in a moment. It's absolutely astonishing and record-breaking. And May starts a winter storm at West Virginia's highest elevations with record-breaking snow, the highest single-day snowfall recorded in May for snowshoe ever. The previous record was recently set in 2020 and was just 3 inches. These totals were over 5 inches, and it literally looks like the middle of winter in West Virginia this morning. Take a look. Now, again, you can get breaking news like this by simply subscribing over at our Twitter feed, Oppenheimer Ranch Project, at Diamond the Dave. Snow, hail, and rain enter California forecast after a warm spell. Well, it is going to be warmer with the ENSO neutral pattern as we shift to El Nino. It's going to be wetter in the southeast and colder up in the north. And then we'll transition over to a wetter than normal Four Corners and southwest, and warmer than normal and drier than normal north, while it stays colder than normal in the south. And this will last probably all summer and in to the fall and winter. Here is the snowfall analysis from the last 24 hours. Since this morning, you can see a wide swath in Marquette here of 18 or more inches. And here is the big winter chicken dinner early this morning. Many regions picking up 8 inches in the high elevations of West Virginia, and that snow is not over. The precipitation forecast total accumulated through mid-May, looking like good rain for the center of the country. And take a look at the snow, heavy snow in the Sierras through mid-May. And the snow is not over in Snowshoe and in the mountains of West Virginia. Here we can see Wednesday, heavy snow falling through Thursday morning in the mountains again, bringing up to 8 to 10 more inches to already records broken. This could be another record broken for May after the last all-time record was just broken. More heavy snow will be moving into the Sierras as well, starting, well, now. Take a look at this. Wednesday, another system coming in Friday, another system Saturday, and it just goes on and on. A final system here at the end of the month is going to bring some heavy totals up into the high country, and that means lower elevations are going to have flooding rain, and that's going to begin the process of filling Lake Tulare. Seismic update, lots of activity across the U.S. in weird locations, 2.6 in Kentucky, people getting plucky, 2.5 in Kansas. We just had a recent quake at a depth of 82 kilometers in Panama. Probably very few people felt that. 5.0 near the coast of southern Peru. 5.0. Nothing, no other quakes of note, just some interesting rockers all over the place. Worldwide volcano news update. Sabancaya puffing to 25,000. Popo, Nevado de Ruiz, Suanosima, and others, all normal activity. Suanosima puffing to 6,000. Nevado de Ruiz to 21,000. Popo to 25. And, well, keeping it alive. Take a look at Liwotolol. Eruption continues with lava flows from the main vent. No other quakes of eruptions of note, as all is quiet on the volcano front. Taking a quick look at telemetry, Discover Solar Wind showing all is pretty quiet. Phi angle is shifted. Space weather news update. And the sun has gone quiet over the last 24 to 36 hours. Just some minor sea flaring. Very few sunspots on the disk. Let's look at the latest. Yeah, just some peppered spots at Solar Max here. Let's take a look at the coronal holes. Coronal hole 99 is going to be our biggest space weather producer in about 2 or 3 days. We should see that coronal hole coupling with Earth. Let's see what the WSA Enlil spiral has to say. Well, the WSA Enlil solar wind prediction hasn't been updated for days. I wonder why that is. So we're waiting on an update there showing nothing coming. Here is May 2nd, 3rd, Nothing coming, just a minor coronal hole stream. Over right here at Iswa, a thicker stream that should make impact on the 5th. Watch it right there, 5th. Yeah, so that is the coronal hole stream we're looking at now. And then we do have this one to deal with as it turns back around the limb. Taking a look at the latest solar cycle comparison, the data is in for April, and it's showing solar cycle 25 is mimicking solar cycle 24. No massive solar cycle like was predicted, the largest solar cycle ever. This is staying in the grand solar minimum pattern. Here's the predicted in green, and you can see that when it spiked, people were getting excited, but that activity has dropped way down in the latest numbers. So we always see an aberration in sunspots early on in the max and a quiet down and a second peak. Here you can see a double peak. Otherwise, it's just a single peak and a rapid drop. If this is a rapid drop-off from this point on, wow, we are definitely entering grand solar minimum in a big way. But the obvious signs that this solar cycle is the same as 24 is bad news. It could even be weaker and fizzle out here in a year or so and be dropping off early, and we could see a very short 9-year potentially solar cycle. Now, you want proof that global warming is man-made? Well, it is, just not spelled with one N. Most realists are familiar with the hide the decline, the divergence problem, in which post-1960 tree ring proxy data shows a clear temperature decline, while official measured temperature data shows a rise. Well, that was because in the period of 2008 to 2019, the actual graph shifted. So in 2008, here was the original data set. Michael Mann got his hands on it over at Penn State, and he took this cooling period and made it warmer than the entire past. Complete lie. And then by 2013, more data tampering showed a continuous cyclic upward trend, and then we get the woke hockey shtick. So can you believe that this graph here, the 2019 graph, is based on the same data here, showing that this high point here is up here, this cooling, which is way down here, is now warmer. Well, it's just such garbage science. Can you imagine the fraud that needs to be perpetrated to go from this data set to this data set in just a period of 18 years? It's mind-boggling. The fraud that is being perpetrated right now on the public. What's not a fraud is the epic melt season. Here is the San Juan River at Pagosa. We showed you last night's uptick. It's going up even higher tonight, and it peaked out last night at 3,080 cubic feet per second, and we're getting in on the river tomorrow at noontime. So join the crew and the epic adventure we're going to have on a record runoff on the San Juan River at a level that is not recommended to be run. And that is a boom to not recommending stuff. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. I hope you got something out of the video. Please become a Patreon. Support the work we do. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. And most importantly, share the video as we are shadow banned from the unsubscribed on YouTube. Be safe. We love you, and we'll see you on the San Juan.